Ukraine confirms it's withdrawn troops from the eastern town of Soledar, the forefront of fighting in the Donetsk region.
Finland calls for a pause on trilateral talks with Turkey over its NATO bid, after Helsinki hinted at joining the alliance without Sweden.
California politicians on both sides of the political divide offer condolences to victims of recent mass shootings in the state.
300 classified documents have been found at the home of former Vice President Mike Pence, in the latest in a string of such discoveries.
There appears to be little left of this hotly contested small salt mining town. Ukraine has now confirmed it's withdrawn troops from Soledar, the forefront of fighting in the Donetsk region. A military spokesman said soldiers had pulled back to defend prepared positions elsewhere. This almost 2 weeks after Russian troops said they had captured the town. The fiercest combat has been in nearby Bakhmut and surrounding areas. But apart from Soledar, Russia has made no significant advances, despite ramped up and repeated attacks. For those trapped in Bakhmut, life has been hell. Most citizens have been evacuated, but the battle rages on.
There is not a single military objective here. Many people, including children, have died here, and we will never forgive them. The pain will stay here forever.
Finland's president is calling for a pause on trilateral talks with Turkey over its NATO bid together with Sweden. It's after the Finnish foreign minister said Helsinki was thinking about joining the military alliance without Stockholm, according to the Washington Post. The announcement also follows Turkey's move to stall Sweden's bid over several issues, not least the latest protest in the Swedish capital, which saw a Koran being burnt. The latest hold-up raises doubts about the two Nordic nations becoming NATO members together.
I want to urge for calm in this process because I want to return to functioning talks on the issues where we agreed that we have made progress. Sweden, Finland and Turkey have a trilateral agreement and it's going well. It's quite obvious that we have different legislation in our countries. I think, as someone said, I would have two thoughts in my head. We are fully committed to Swedish freedom of expression, and we are very keen to complete NATO membership together with Finland.
Both Sweden and Finland launched their bid to join NATO when Russia invaded Ukraine nearly a year ago. But protests in Sweden and Turkey's persistence that Stockholm should distance itself from the Kurdish Workers' Party are stalling progress.
Social media personality Andrew Tate has faced further questioning on organised crime and human trafficking charges in Romania. The British-American citizen, who has nearly 5 million followers on Twitter, was initially detained in Bucharest in late December. He maintains he's innocent.
Of course it's unjust. There's no justice in Romania, unfortunately.
His brother Tristan has also been detained by Romanian authorities as part of the same investigation. As the pair were being questioned, prosecutors confirmed their mobile phones and laptops were being forensically searched. A judge has ruled that the brothers will remain in detention until late February.
That is why I'm in jail. I have money that they were trying to steal.
Cross-channel rail operator Eurostar says its post-Brexit passport checks for travellers are forcing it to run some of its trains almost one-third empty. British visitors travelling from London to Paris now must have their documents stamped by border patrols, while EU citizens now must prove upon arrival they comply with British migration rules.
The issue we have for the so-called cross-channel routes to Paris from London is the issue of border crossing time, because we have a border crossing time that is currently too long. So the customer experience isn't that good, and we need to work on that. So this is a key issue for our routes to or from London. But we're continuing to work on it, and it is extremely important for us.
Eurostar's Brexit headaches are doubled as it tries to bounce back to post-pandemic levels. In 2022, it carried 8.3 million passengers, still far below 2019 records. It hopes its new merger with French-Belgian train operator Thalys can shift the company out of its debts, with the high ambition to carry 30 million passengers a year by 2030.
California's governor has hit out at the Republican US House Speaker for not making a public statement over recent mass shootings in the state. Gavin Newsom has expressed his dismay at the lack of comment from Kevin McCarthy after 11 people died in a dance studio in Monterey and 7 people were killed at 2 farms in Half Moon Bay.
I'm still waiting for Kevin McCarthy, the leader of the House of Representatives, who purports to represent the people of the state of California, a proud and remarkable district in Kern County. We haven't heard one damn word from him. Not since Monterey Park, not what happened here, not one word, not one expression of prayers even, condolences, nothing. And it should surprise nobody. Where's he been on gun safety reform? Where's the Republican Party been on gun safety reform? They blocked it every step of the way.
Foreign and domestic. That you will bear
Mr. McCarthy did, however, express his condolences at about the same time as Mr. Newsom was speaking.
First, let me begin by expressing my condolences to the families in California with the recent violence over the last couple days. As many of you know, we just returned from a retreat for our leadership, working on the policies and strategies to move forward to make sure we keep our commitment to America, to make this country stronger, more fiscally sound.
The California governor has renewed calls for federal action on gun safety measures since the mass shootings happened at the weekend and on Monday.
That historic wrong once.
Around 300 classified documents have been discovered in former Vice President Mike Pence's Indiana home. His lawyer, Greg Jacobs, said that Pence engaged outside counsel with experience in handling such papers to review records stored in his personal home after it became public that documents with classified markings were found in President Joe Biden's Wilmington residence. Jacobs said it was a small number. The White House refused to comment.
And look, I'm not going to comment on any ongoing criminal investigation or any investigation. As you all know, the Department of Justice is independent, and we will not politically interfere. We've been very, very clear about that under this president. The president's been very clear since his campaign promises.
It's the latest in a string of discoveries of confidential information in private residences. The Department of Justice is already investigating the discovery of classified files in President Joe Biden's home in Delaware and his former Washington office, as well as former President Donald Trump's estate in Florida. All deny any wrongdoing.
Deficit Sunday.
LeBron James
On the breakaway.
putting in another scintillating performance for the Los Angeles Lakers, pleasing the crowd and edging closer to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's NBA all-time scoring record. He's taking every game as it comes.
As it gets closer and closer, I think I'll start to feel it more and more, but I was asked earlier, I haven't really tried to put myself in that moment. I've gotten to this place by not even thinking about it or not even, being in that moment, just trying to play the game the right way.
Although James put 46 points on the board, putting him within reach of the record within 2 weeks, it wasn't to be the Lakers' night. He lost 133 to 115 to city rivals, the Clippers.
Serbia's Novak Djokovic breezed into the semi-finals of the Australian Open with an emphatic straight sets win over Andrei Rublev. The 35-year-old took command early on in the game and never looked back en route to a ruthless 6-1, 6-2, 6-4 triumph. He'll next lock horns with Tommy Paul after the American put an end to Ben Shelton's fairy tale run. After clinching the first 2 sets, Paul let down his guard in the third, but regained his composure to win the 4th set, ending with 7-6, 6-3, 5-7, 6-4. In the women's event, Arina Sabalenka produced a dominant display to outclass Croatia's Donna Vekic. The Belarusian looked in great shape and reached her 4th Grand Slam semi-final with a 6-3, 6-2 win. She'll next take on the unseeded Magda Linette. The Polish world number 45, who's never gone beyond the third round of a major tournament, proved too much for Karolina Pliskova. The final score in that match was 6-3, 7-5.